They took everything from us. Because magic runs through us.
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you. I know I was only supposed to watch the first 2 episodes for this interview, but I actually watched the whole thing.
You did? Wait, how many have you seen?
All 10. I loved it.
No.
Yeah, I watched it all yesterday. It was brilliant.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it.
Cool. I'm so psyched that you saw the whole thing.
Yeah, Netflix. I thought Netflix was just going to give me the first 2, but they gave me all of them. So. But I have a Netflix account anyway, so I'd be watching it tomorrow anyway. Because I've always been a fan of the. I know this is a legend before King. I know these are events that take place before the legend that we know, but I've always been a fan of it. So yeah.
Cool. That's great. That's really great. That's great. That's exciting. Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for giving me the time to do this. This is awesome. So, yeah, this is great. All right, shall we get started? Or
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, all right, great. So, if we go back to the beginning, was there a defining moment for you to get into the industry?
So yeah, I'm born and raised in the Bronx, and really, I'm doing something that just feels very foreign to where I was from. And, I loved watching TV, loved watching movies as a kid. And I think, I got this internship, haven't thought about this in a while, at Tribeca Film Center when I was much younger. And I think that was a turning point for me. I got a taste of the business and I got to see what people were doing. And I was really excited to try and figure out what kind of job I could get or what kind of role I could play in the industry.
Brilliant. All right. And obviously, we're obviously better for it because like you're just incredible with what you've been able to accomplish. I was reading through your biography earlier, and yeah, it's impressive stuff. Really is. So, what was it that about Curse that made you want to be involved in the project?
Yeah, there were a few really strong elements about the project that made me want to do it. It's always for me the script. I read the script and I thought, I really want to tell this story. Like I probably like you and so many people, very familiar, fascinated with Arthurian legend, as a kid. But I thought this was such a fresh take on it, taking the Lady of the Lake and doing her coming of age. That to me was really exciting. And then when I heard that Tom Wheeler and Frank Miller were writing it and producing it, I was like, yes, please sign me up.
Yeah, both legends really are. Do you have any memories when filming Curse that will stick with you that you can share?
Yeah, I have so many amazing memories. I'd never shot in the UK and I loved it. I loved the cruise. I loved the pace. I loved the rhythm. I loved, kind of the entire experience. And there were so many like magical kind of moments, where we knew we were working on this really special fantasy show, but then you're working on a scene and it just all clicks. Like I remember we were doing this scene work where Nimue is battling the wolves and, the rain, and we're doing take after take and the lightning flashes. And I remember just standing there and thinking, this is really cool. Like, this is a great, great moment. And Katherine was, so excellent and nonstop and just working so hard that it was really special.
Awesome. Yeah, Catherine's incredible. I haven't seen everything she's been in, but she's incredible, and to have such a powerful lead at the forefront of your show. How was she to work with?
She was great. I really honestly can't say enough like wonderful things about her. She is such a talent and then such a great human, like a joy to be around, works so hard, works on her script, works in every possible way, the physicality. She had so much to do, never complains, always wanting to do more, wanting to do all her stunts. very available for rehearsal, conversations, and a great kind of, lead. And that matters, it trickles down, and everyone gets inspired when you're working with someone who really cares.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, diversity is a huge point for you. Was that something that was like a deal breaker within Cursed? Because you got quite a few diverse castings in there.
Yeah, you know what was so great that it never had to, it didn't ever have, it wasn't a battle, because everyone kind of organically felt the same, and everybody around me, and yes, as a woman of color, I in the decision making process, I have these white guys with me. It's like Tom and Frank, and they were not on board. They were like leading the charge. They just felt like this was the world that we were all creating, and it was fantasy, and we wanted to see this world. We wanted to see people of color in this fantasy world. It felt really good. It felt really right. It felt really organic.
Awesome, because yeah, Arthur is incredible as well. Um, yeah, he's great. I like him a lot.
So great. Like he just, yeah, Devin is Arthur. There was no, we saw a bunch of people and he won it. It was like, well, you got to cast the best actor. He's great.
Absolutely, yeah. So what is your preferred genre, and do you have any favorite films or TV shows that you like watching?
Yeah, I love so much. I watch as much as I can in terms of film and TV, and the way I work on many different genres is kind of how I watch. Like I can be, easily happily entertained watching comedy and, watching drama. And I think for me working, I usually gravitate towards drama. I usually like the darker stuff, a little bit twisted and more character driven is usually what I like. So even in fantasy or genre work, if there's strong character work in there, then it's something I'm attracted to. It's what I want to do.
Yeah, well, it's definitely strong character work within Cursed. Like just from the get go, there's amazing stuff that goes on in the series. It really is. Um, you've obviously worked with a great crop of talent, not only on Cursed but throughout your career. Do you still have a wish list of who you'd like to work with?
What's pretty amazing is I feel really lucky and like just humbled by the talent that I work with, behind the camera and in front of the camera. But I have many people, there's cinematographers that I've admired, even though I love my cinematographer. We did this, James. But, the writers that I love. I think on the actor front, recently I got to work with Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow, and that was ticking a box for me because I love them so much and I'm such a fan of their work. But yeah, there's probably a very long list of people that I would want to get the chance to work with.
Awesome. So who inspires you in the industry?
I'm inspired by many people. I think right now people are really doing fantastic work. I think about, and there are directors who happen to be women, but they're not defined by that. But, Patty Jenkins and Ava DuVernay and, so many talented directors, Lulu Wang, and just people doing great work that I think I'm just inspired by what's coming out, by so many projects.
Awesome, awesome. With the popularity of streaming services like Netflix and Disney Plus, what do you think the future of cinema is?
Oh, I love the streaming, networks. I love that we have all this content that we can watch, but I love cinema. I think for me, I love going into a movie theater, and I love the lights going down and the big film starting, and I love a beginning, middle, and end. And I hope that continues. I think with everything that's going on, cinema for me is really an important art form that just needs to be encouraged and protected and driven forward. And streaming and television, I think it all can exist. All of it can exist, hopefully, going forward.
Absolutely. So, going back to Cursed, when you were doing the first two episodes from a directing point of view, because they play out as though they're one long film. Was that the intention?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, I treated it, and we talked about it as if it was a film, a film, a 2-hour movie. And then the whole thing, the whole 10 wants to be a 10-hour movie, so
Mm.
that it feels cohesive. But yeah, I think that alchemy that exists between episodes, it's a delicate balance. It wants to feel like the story's moving forward and that it's connected, but that it's hopefully has a little bit of a different quality. So between 1 and 2, I think you can maybe hopefully sense the differences, but really what makes it whole is important, was most important.
Yeah, you oversaw the whole series, didn't you? So, did you? I'm just fascinated with how that works, because obviously you directed the first two, and then you kind of handed the reins on to somebody else, but you were still overseeing it. So, was there any point where you were kind of like, oh, I wouldn't shoot it like that, I would have done something differently here? How
What's
does that?
interesting is that actually with this one, I didn't oversee the whole thing. So I
Okay.
was I was only involved with the first two, but it is tricky because it feels like you're handing off your baby, but the collaborators and all the department heads, and obviously Tom and Frank and everyone is staying on for the whole 10 episodes, and the vision is already set, and they're there to guide the project forward. And we had amazing directors come in to do the rest of the episodes. And what I love is that I think they carried that vision through, but they added their own touches, their own elements. So I hopefully, again, it feels like a 10-hour movie, but hopefully those episodes have their own characteristics and their own, elements that make it their own as well, because they were really talented.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's why I watched the whole thing like in one sitting, because it was essentially a 10-hour movie. So it's just incredible. Um, obviously, like doing a series like this, do you find that you get to play with characters more than if you were just doing a film? So.
Yeah, because the characters are going to have a little bit longer screen life and
Mm.
time, and they're going off on a longer journey, and you're getting to spend more time with them. I mean, I think in its essence, the character work is the same, but you really want to make sure that you build a foundation, because their journeys are going to kind of live on for a longer time. So, you need to always do the work in any whatever aspect you do, if it's theater or if it's I've worked in multicam, I worked in theater. I actually haven't made a movie yet, hopefully that's coming soon. But in all those ways, you always want to always work the character and the relationships the most.
Well, I'm just staying on Cursed for the moment. What are you hoping from the series when it launches on Friday?
I'm really excited for people to see it, and I'm just hoping that the audience is transported to another fantasy world that they are compelled to watch, hopefully like you, and that they want to find out what happens, and that they're rooting for Nimue and the heroes. So yeah, I just hope that people enjoy it.
Right. And obviously this lockdown has like turned the world on its head. Have you been using time to stay creative and keep yourself occupied? And obviously you're launching a show. Um, you're launching a show like during this. So um, have you been using this time to just stay creative and like keep up with everything?
Yeah, it's been a really tricky time because there's so much horror right now going on in the world, and I'm so mindful of that. I'm feeling so grateful for my family and what we have, and then wanting to stay creative. So reading a lot, spending a lot of time with my family, and trying to stay active, and trying to stay aware of what's happening, and trying to stay, politically active and socially conscious with everything that's going on.
Awesome. And just before I let you go, what are you looking forward to getting back to once things open back up properly?
Oh, I can dare to dream. I was just saying to my mom who's in New York, I live in Los Angeles. I can't wait to see my family. Like, I can't wait to go to New York and see my mom and like sit down in the kitchen and have a, café con leche and like see my brother. And, I'm sure like so many people just missing people, missing connection.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a tough time all around. Um, yeah, just looking to the future, I'm not going to ask about anything that will get you into trouble. But are there any projects in particular that you're looking forward to, that you may have even started before lockdown that you're just itching to get back to?
It's interesting. I have a few projects that I can't, talk about yet because I'm a little bit superstitious and nothing is set in stone. But again, on the movie front, I'm really excited to make my first feature. So hopefully, that's moving forward. And then on the TV side, I'm reading a bunch of scripts and looking forward to what's next. So yeah, hopefully soon.
Awesome. Okay, well, I will leave it there. And yeah, Kirsty's out on Friday, all 10 episodes on Friday. It's incredible. It really is. And yeah, I look forward to everything you do. And and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thanks very much. Take care.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
I'm here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, with the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels. It's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you round Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.